Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be talking about a topic we all deal with in the muscular dystrophy community or in the disability community in general. You know, having access to medical equipment that you need, you know, because you know the process, how long it takes to fix a wheelchair, how long it gets to get for example, cough assist, a vest, any Hoyer lift, any medical equipment, you know, especially when you're an adult, it's like takes longer. You have to be calling, call the insurance, call the company, like what's going on, when they're gonna approve, your medical equipment, when will your insurance pay for it, all that jazz and stuff. So this is an article talking about like shining light, I'll call it, on that topic. Well, I'll get started. I will get started now. The first part of the article is called Fighting for the Treatment, Equipment, and Supplies We Need. One of the hardest aspects of living to change muscular dystrophy that we all deal with, ensuring that we have access to new treatment, equipment, the supplies that we rely on just have to a fighting chance of something normal life. Now, the next part is called A Right, Not in Green. We should not have to beg to get access to the new treatments that are coming out to allow us to walk a little longer, to have use of our arms a little longer, to be able to breathe a little longer, and unlimited to have our life last a little longer. This should be a right, not a dream for us to have access. We should not have to beg to get the wheelchair. We need to be a part of this world to get the Hoyer lifts that we rely on to transfer the shower chair to help us maintain our hygiene. The offices we used to keep our airways clear and lungs open. The BiPAP that allow us to breathe properly and ventilator that allow us to breathe every single breath. This should be a right, not a dream for us to have the access. We should have the best supplies for all of our equipment, not what the provider or insurance company decide we can have, which usually the cheapest products available, not what product work the best for each of us. I mean, like I was saying, like it's a complicated, you know, journey or kind of transition to get a certain, like it's saying, certain supply equipment and stuff. It always depends what you're always depending on what you're like he's saying, what your provider insurance company decide. Like you always, you're just waiting for they basically decide if you get that treatment or if you get that certain equipment. Like you basically rely on your provider and insurance to make that decision and stuff. And I feel like most of it, it's not like I don't feel like this should be a decision. A wheelchair is not because you want the insurance to pay for it, it's something you need. I feel like the provider should give each each individual with muscular dystrophy the right the supplies and the equipment that each individual need, not what they feel like, not give the same thing to each person, because you might have the same disability but each person has their health is different. Some are stable, some are a little more weaker, and stuff. Our supply should also be consistent, not charge every month, because every different product may be more cost effective for the machine or the product providing the supply. This should be a right, not a dream for us to have this access. I have to deal with many of these things throughout my life. I would like to share two of these circumstances that I have experienced with you. In one case, it was about quality of life, and the other, it was about life itself. So this is an individual that he wrote this article talking about his story. I mean, I have dealt with this as well and stuff. And yeah, let's see what else he shares about his struggle with the equipment that we all deal with. We all have our stories, dealing with the insurance company providers or whatnot. Fighting for quality of life. It's the next part of the article. I haven't really been able to get out of my room and do anything for probably 9 months at the moment. The person is was I'm currently using my 18-year-old wheelchair and it doesn't run any fast farther than my room because it just dies. It's too hard for my parent to push me in the power chair, so I just sit in my room. I have a brand new power chair that's been sitting in the bay for about a year and a half. So why am I still using the 18-year broken one? It's an interesting story. I never really had an issue getting a new power wheelchair except for the first one, which was a bit of a process. Once the needed was established, though I have had the request denied. Never have dealt with that before. The one issue I do have right now is getting comfortable sitting in my chair. I have been trying to do for many years to this day. As it been resolved with my insurance, they only allow one new seat every year, so the provider will charge up to two times to get the seat right because the manufacturer will provide the option for one remake. The first time I tried having a new seat made for my current chair, I had the seat custom made to fit me. I thought, how could this not work? But unfortunately, I was wrong. The seat was so comfortable that it was to the point of being painful. I couldn't even try it. The company did not try modifying the seat with a turkey knife, but that didn't work. It also voided the warranty in the remake, so I just gave up on it for a couple hours. That's like a issue, you know. You get a wheelchair, you're seating, you don't feel comfortable in your seat, or something's wrong with the chair, your foot plate like is, something happened to the foot plate, your foot doesn't feel right being on the foot plate or whatnot. The next time we opted to do a whole new chair including seat, so we received a chair which wasn't as requested nor was it as approved per minute, but if that is for a different day. I received a chair, but once again, the seat was very uncomfortable. We decided to have a remake done, but it was also very uncomfortable. The company said that they didn't know where to go from there, and communication stopped. So my brand new chair sat in the basement for 5 years. About a year and a half, I decided to try again with a brand new wheelchair and a new seat. So the chair came as advertised this time with everything I was approved for, but as you can probably guess, the seat wasn't comfortable at all either. So we made it again. It was still very uncomfortable. This time though, the company still wanting to get me in my chair comfortably. I get what that means. I have dealt with that issue as well, as I'm sure many of you guys who have muscular dystrophy or any disability that you need equipment, you have dealt with these issues. The one common denominator is in this series of controversies was the manufacturer, which you would think after the third time maybe the company would have suggested that we should try a different route. So time I'm asking for a completely different seat manufacturer. Like they say, the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over and something different result. I have been crazy long enough with that seat. I'm meeting with my provider in a few weeks, and I truly hope that this time I succeed in the war. Having my wheelchair is the only connection I have to the outside world. Without it, what do I really have to look forward to? But wait, the story gets even better. I mean, I get where he's coming from. Your chair is basically your legs. Without your chair, you can't basically go anywhere and stuff. Fighting for life itself. That's the next part of the article. The next battle I would like to share is a major issue I dealt with about 8 years ago. I've been when one comes to problem on my respirator, which includes my ventilators, my suction machine, as well as my feeding pump and all that supply that come with everything. We're about to one day out of the blue they called. They said they unfortunately will not be providing any equipment any longer, and it was our final replacement product. They even just gave us my ventilator to keep because they were finished in the ventilator business. However, they demand my suction back, which I really rely on to keep my airway clear before I have it. Thankfully, we did stall them on that for several months. I found it unfair. You should let the person keep it until they find the replacement. For those who don't know me, I live in a very rural area and there ain't really any other option that work hours away for us to connect. I don't have to deal with that, but I get where it's coming from because I had to find a new one. We called and called where we could find. Everyone said they wouldn't take on any new vent page because they just didn't do it anymore because of liability. However, I found out that the real reason no one was accepting new patient was because there were no profit in providing the service. we're given the option to purchase for ourselves, but they wouldn't supply the ventilators or their medication to ensure they work properly. The only other option offered was putting me in a home, but that wasn't gonna. The only option they offered was putting me in a home, but that wasn't gonna happen either. I mean, there should be other options than just saying we're putting someone in you know, a home where they're gonna care for you and stuff. So my mom called everyone in the government for help. We finally found a repressive one Medicaid decided to get involved pursuing the crossing state front to take me as a patient or lose that medical license. So needless to say, I was accepted. I'm sure for many of you reading this know that that was a decision that could have changed my life dramatically. For those who may not know, if I was to be without a respite, that would leave me without invention. Without it, I would no longer be just had the ones they gave me, but they require constant maintenance to ensure that they not only breathe for me, but they also have several alarm settings to let me my mom know if something's wrong or they are not notified that I need assistance. I might suffocate to death. That's not conjecture. It's a reality. To be honest, not having suction is also just a serious issue because without it, my airway could become obstructed, and it does, no air can pass in or out. So having a respirator provides obviously vital in order for me to breathe and live. Not just for this person who wrote this article, but any person who has muscular or any disability that requires that. The other part of it is just one idea. The system is in this kind of solely ridiculous. Everything must be approved by a group of people who have no idea of the need we have for the treatment, equipment, supply that we rely on us personally with to change. Our moms or dads or ourselves should not have to bear this burden through our life. We should not have to pour our souls out to the government or insurance company in order to have access to treatment that could allow us a little more time to walk, or for a wheelchair that can allow us to leave the house and to be in until like everyone else, or for that robotic arm that could allow us to do things for ourselves longer. To be honest, all these decision makers should be ashamed for requiring a mom to go to bed crying because she can't help her child get out of the house to be with the family and friends. How can they say that human connection doesn't count as an established need in order to approve a wheelchair? How do they even go home after such an egregious decision to fix the bottom line? I wish I had the solution to solve this major issue that all of us really change journey deal with through our entire life. Yeah, I mean, we all wish we can do something else, but I only suggest do have, which I believe is a great first step in solving the riddle, is that putting actual discipline on the approval board would definitely help. I mean, I feel like that could be a good idea, don't you think? I feel like if you put someone who isn't just when you're not in a certain situation, you don't understand things. Like if you don't have muscular, you don't understand the struggles. Or if you're like, for example, if you go to college, maybe there's people that say, "Oh, that you're struggling with a certain, class," and people be like, "Oh, you're struggling with it. That's easy. Like the assignment's easy." You're saying that, you're stressing over that assignment. You're saying that because never you didn't go to college or get a degree like myself. I can understand when people be like, "Oh, I'm struggling with this class in college because I already went, so I know how things work around." And same here, I know how it is living with muscular dystrophy. Having people that know what they're talking about could basically help a lot. You can't think that people who aren't have no connection to it can truly understand our needs and how much it was adding could change our life. Exactly. I know it's just one idea, but it would go a long way towards ending the fiasco of approval process. I do hope that one day soon that having what we need is no longer a dream but a right. I agree with that. Hopefully things change in the future for the next generation of people with muscular dystrophy and stuff. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about. We all deal with that. If you have a disability, it can either be muscular dystrophy or any disability. You know how it is. It's a struggle with that. So I thought it was a good idea to make this video talking about this issue. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Until next time.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride.